Well, today, several excerpts from an article which I believe is worthy of some attention. I will post the link over in the sidebar. Here it goes. As you may know, Obama's public approval ratings are taking a beating. Millions of his former cult members have awakened to a splitting hangover to find their pockets turned inside out and eviction notices on the doors of their 4,000 square foot subprime mortgaged cardboard fuck boxes. Many who voted for Obama out of disgust for the Bush regime are now listening to the Republicans, again in their cars and radios as they drive around looking for a suitable place to hide their vehicles from the repo man. Most Americans' party affiliations actually have not changed that much. After all, Obama did not get elected on a landslide by any means. He got 51% of the vote. Right now, his approval ratings are in the 40th percentile and would be headed for the basement of the league if it were not for the residual effect of the Kool-Aid love fest a year ago. However, millions of American liberals remain faithful and believe Obama will arise from the dead in the third year and ascend to glory. This frustrating ping-pong game, in which the margin for the first time disenchanted and undecided voters are batted back and forth, has become the whole of American elections. That makes both the Republicans and the Democratic parties very happy, since it keeps the game down to fighting the enemy they know, each other, as opposed to being forced to deal with real issues, or worse yet, an independent or third-party candidate who might have a solution or two. Thus, the game is limited to two players between two corporate parties. One is the Republican Party, which believes we should hand over our lives and resources directly to the local Chamber of Commerce, so the Chamber can deliver them to big corporations. The other, the Democratic Party, believes that we should hand our lives and resources to a Democratic administration, so it alone can deliver our asses to the big dogs who own the country. In the big picture, it's always about who gets to deliver the money to the Wall Street hyena pack. Americans may be starting to get the big picture about politics, money, and corporate power, but I doubt it. Given that most still believe that the war on terrorism is real, and that terrorists always just happen to be found near gas and oil deposits, there is plenty of room left to blow more smoke up their asses. Hey, but at least the recession is over. This according to Obama's monetary point man, Ben Bernanke, chairman of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is not a government agency, despite its agency name. The Fed is an offshore, private banking cartel that decides just how much bogus currency can be printed and circulated profitably for bankers without wrecking their Ponzi schemes. And the chairman of that august body has announced that the recession is over. Well, hallelujah. Of course, the other news is, which the Obama administration actually openly acknowledges, unemployment will in all likelihood go even higher than it is now. And nobody on earth knows how to reduce it. The factories are all but gone, and they're not coming back. Not unless American workers are willing to work 13 hours a day for 2 Chinese yuan an hour, which is about 31 cents. I would guess that you have heard about the so-called debate, healthcare reform in America. There really wasn't much of a debate, just a lot of thuggish behavior and wild tales of geriatric death panels by the right and groveling capitulation on the left. The reform turned out to be a $70 billion giveaway per year to the insurance companies by forcing those 45 million folks that cannot afford insurance at all to buy into it. Taxpayer dollars will make up the difference between what can be wrung out of the working poor and what insurance corporations can demand and get away with. In the end, the campaign rattle and prattle about Obama's recovery plan turned out to be moot anyway. Wall Street moved in and heavied up on the whole damn country in one of the ballsiest heats in American history. It was a stroke of pure genius on their part. Following a meeting of the 5 cartels, banking cartels, the ripoff was on. They got it all. Now, if you don't hand over all the people's savings and assets so we can loan it back to them, the whole flaming ball of shit is gonna come down on our asses like a gigantic meteor. So, you can load $3 billion bucks for now into armored cars lined up in front, and nobody will get hurt. Or you can watch the national economy shrivel up until the schmucks out there in their cul-de-sacs and cardboard condos can't even put together the cab fare to the poorhouse. The banking mob, the insurance mob, and other criminally organized legislative musclemen, cartels, and commodity syndicates are all officially sanctioned as interest groups, operating alongside hundreds of others in that whorehouse called the Potomac, by the Potomac River. Part 2 will follow.